Hello and welcome to my next More Dungeon video. Today I wanted to make a little video about hero comps, and yeah, I already made like a guide video on what or how to start on World 4 and what type of heroes you play. Like yeah, you basically I said that you have to play like one legendary, 3 blue heroes, 3 epic heroes, and 1 blue hero. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. Of course, for me now everything is different because I have Mercy. But yeah, I will go over some pictures in the Discord, in the channel. I actually leveling here on World 4, I level my second blue and also a green hero, but this is only for like the main quest here. I will reset them soon. So if you wonder why I have like a green hero and so, it's because of the main quest. So don't get that wrong. But yeah, I will start with the first picture, and you might like pause the video and make your own opinion on what you would play, and then you can compare it to like my opinion. And yeah, you could write down in the comment then how many you agreed with me or on what combo you disagree actually. And so yeah, we start right into it, and this is like the first picture, and this is like the luckiest one. So there's no question about it. This one is crazy lucky, and you should just play Mercy as your first hero, of course. And to also level up Thor to level 50, you can keep playing him because it's free to level him up to level 50. It's like a key rule in the game that levels are more important than anything else. I mean, there are a few exceptions, like Mercy, for example, or like Anubis, or like heroes with preservation. But yeah, in this case, I would definitely level up Mercy as your first legendaries all the way to max level. I also level up Joanne as your first epic hero. And you can basically play like I do on World 4, Mercy, Joanne, and Frankenstein. And the reason for that is you only got that many epic spheres, and you want your Mercy to not be attacked or maybe get hit like on a side effect. So you will trigger like Wolf's Claw. I will show you that right here. I have like the same combo actually. I have Mercy with this Wolf's Claw, and I have a 30% chance to counter with primary skill when I get attacked. And I have Joanne, and I have a low level Frankenstein. So the reason for that is I want the enemies to focus on my Frankenstein first. He's also light, and they will attack the lowest level light first. And so yeah, I wanted to be the tank, and when I keep Frankenstein like lower level than Joanne, they will always attack him first, and he can take some hits, which is really nice. And also if you get 5 stacks, he can have preservation, and like this is like a perfect combo. And in this case, it doesn't really matter what else he can play. He can play the soul in the bottom to like level 10 just to fill up the combo. Definitely you should play Nerissa as well as your 4th hero. So the 4th hero that you really level up. And you can decide on like Aqualon, for example, just for like extra immunity and healing and agility up, or like also the witch for stealing like buffs and so on. So yeah, so basically it would be for like later stages in the game, it would be Mercy and Joanne and Frankenstein, and because these 3 work so well together, you just fill up the other 2s with like support. So this is like kind of a tricky one, to be honest. But yeah, because Mercy is so broken right now, like it's just Mercy and all the others are just like supports. So we go to the next one. So this one is a little bit more normal, I would say. I also started with the Murdering Mass, and yeah, I mean, he sucks, but you should still level him up to level 50 because it's free to level him up to level 50. And since it's it's your first only legendary, I would also level him up even further until you get like a better legendary, then you can swap it out. But this combo should definitely be Murdering Mass, Joanne, and then you can either play for Aqualon, but of course you have like double healing. This would be like an easy combo because you have so much healing with those 3 heroes. But I mean, you can also steal like buffs with Aqualon, so yeah, you can definitely do it. It's the easiest way to play, even though I said I wouldn't do it that way. But still, it's easy to play this way. It makes the game slower. That's why I don't like it. But of course, it also makes it easier. So I would play Murdering Mass, Joanne, Naga. These are the most important 3. And then you can go for either Robin, even though you have like 2 nature heroes with like poison and so on, but still Robin marks the enemies. It's kind of nice. You can also definitely play the Ragnar, but the problem is early on he's not that great because he leads like the 3rd talent, and his pumpkin skies to be really great. But yeah, I would definitely play Robin and Ragnar. And I mean, you can go Shyvana instead of Robin, but you will lack a lot of damage and autoplay will suck. That's why I wouldn't choose that here. And yeah, let's go to the next one. This is with Undead Dragon, Wendigo, Joanne, Aqualon. So basically a lot of heroes in the Rissa even. And in this case, I would choose to play both legendaries early on, both to level 50 because it's free, as I said earlier. Then you play with like Joanne, and he doesn't really have like a good blue hero, at least I don't see it. I'm not sure. I mean, he might have more blue heroes. So for the blue heroes, either go for grilled chicken, for example, and play Wendigo because grilled chicken can actually make burn, and burn will be good for Wendigo because he has multiple hit. Or he has Naga, of course. Naga is always my first choice in the early game. But I don't see it, what he actually does have here. So this is kind of, I can't really answer this one. But he definitely should play Nerissa as his epic hero. And I also like the Frankenstein as a tank. But the problem, of course, is in his combo, it doesn't make so much sense. So this one is kind of tricky. There is no right answer in my opinion. But early on, I would definitely play the 2 legendaries. And Nerissa is for sure the first epic you want to level up as high as possible. Then you play Joanne and 1 blue. So this is like your 5 heroes. And later on, you will swap out either Wendigo or Undead Dragon. I personally like Undead Dragon because he helps you to defeat like bosses early on, and also the boss in 9D1, which can be really tough when you don't have freeze and stun. So I would prefer to play him, but yeah, you can do both. And so we go to the next one. This one is really early on. He doesn't even have like a legendary hero, so there's not really much to talk about, to be honest, but he should play like grilled chicken as a blue, Aqualon, Joanne, and yeah, he can play Gondolf and Elise, so basically the top 4 and grilled chicken, but this is really early on, so it doesn't really matter. As soon as you get like a better hero, you will just swap out 1 hero for a better one. And next one, we have the Undead, what is his name? Undead Horseman and Prellbock. So again, you have 2 legendaries. You should take advantage of that to level them up to level 50 at least, and then decide for 1. I personally like the Horseman even more than Prellbock. Prellbock is really strong when you have like 3rd talent, and of course in dungeons he's also pretty nice because he will actually stack up a lot the further the dungeon goes, and you can also prepare a stun, so yeah, he's definitely a good choice. And yeah, the horseman doesn't feel like this great. So early on, I would even prefer Prellbock, to be honest. The horseman is really great because of his talents. I got him ranked really high in the tier list, and that's because also his talents are insane, because he gives like immunity, and he can also wear the wolf's claw, and this can also like, I don't really know the name for it, but it can make like the enemy. I would just look it up. Let me show you. So we change the world to world 1, and you can see I have him on level 110, and I have this wolf claw, and this will trigger his first attack, which can blind and mute, and those those two spells are pretty great, and it will trigger when he gets attacked. Also, he has like a P resistance, crit resistance, and preservation and confused, which is also pretty insanely good skill. And as I said, like the talents on him are also really nice. So that's why I ranked him this high. But early on, he's not like the best. So your team early on, those 2 legendaries, then you decide on the one you like better. And for the rest, I would do like Aqualon, even Cornelius. You can play him early on. I mean, he is kind of ranked low in the tier list because the space stats are kind of low, but early on you can definitely play him. And on this server we don't have Candy Elemental, so he's a good hero with attack up when you have like a full attack team. But this will only work when you decide yourself for Prellbock, because he deals attack damage. But you can, of course, play Robin instead of Cornelius. It's just like a damage dealer. And Naga, of course, already did that. So later on, 1 legendary and Cornelius, Aqualon, and Robin, and then Naga. The thing is, when he will decide for the horseman, you will actually have more buffs on Cornelius, and Cornelius will deal even more damage. So this is of course a nice combo. First of all, you have Aqualon, who will give you a buff. Then you have Horseman with 2 buffs, and so he also already has like 3 buffs on himself. When he will also give himself noch attack up, he has like 5 buffs on him, and he will deal 200% AoE damage. So he's of course pretty nice then early on, but when you have him on like level 100, 110, he will fall off eventually because the space stats are that bad. Yeah. And next one, we have the pumpkin guy, and you should definitely level him up. And for the rest, we have Naga as a blue hero. And yeah, for the rest, you could play Aqualon. Yeah, this one is like kind of tough. I would definitely like keep playing Monica, because you don't have a healer, and early on she's nice also because of her taunt. Or if you don't care about autoplay that match, you can play Tweet instead of Monica. So choose one of those, Monica or Shivana, it's her name now. But you have to play it on hand and not with autoplay, because she will use her death up and observation spell and her ultimate way too late. And of course, for the rest of Team Aqualon with like 1 heal. Oh, I didn't actually notice him early on. So yeah, Pumpkin, Naga, Aqualon, and then like Cornelius and Gandalf. You can play this like doesn't really matter that much early on. I mean, those epics aren't like the best. I would just play like, doesn't really matter. You can play either Monica, Gandalf, Cornelius, or Shivana, and well, but Aqualon, of course, you will play Aqualon as the only epic I would definitely play for a long time, and Naga and Pumpkin guy. But the rest like doesn't really matter that much. Just play what you feel like is the best, and then swap out when you have like Nerissa or Frankenstein. And next one, we have 3 legendaries actually. So a lot of pulls, we don't even see the blue heroes here. So I would assume you have Naga, and I would just recommend playing Naga as your first hero. And then you can just play like 3 legendaries early on to level 50, and I would choose Nerissa as well. So there you have your 5 heroes. At some point you will swap out legendary after legendary for epics, and in this case I still would play Aqualon because we don't have like Lilith on the server, and Aqualon has like agility up and heal, which really helps you, especially when you have Naga as well, because Naga has agility down. So you basically start with agility up and you give enemies agility down, and this really helps you to take less damage in the game. When you have Nerissa and put some agility on her, you can also taunt like the enemies and take like 0 damage at all. So this combo, Naga, Aqualon, Nerissa, is really nice. And yeah, other than that, just like choose whatever legendary you feel like is the best for you. I mean, they are all 3 are like kind of okay, but not okay. They are actually good, and you can like choose whatever hero you like to. But I would play Naga, Aqualon, and Nerissa for sure. And then as a third, I would play Robin or Ragnar. And depending on what you picked there, I would choose like Undead Dragon or like Prellbock early on. I think those 2 are really nice. And as I said, Undead Dragon is really nice for boss fights early on. Prellbock is also really good in PvE early on. When you have like Pumpkin Sky on him, he's like a great hero. And yeah, so let's go to the next one. Here we also have like 0 legendaries, and I would just like play Aqualon, Cornelius, Robin, Berserk, and like it doesn't really matter. Like you don't even have to level up a blue hero here. You can just play the epics until you have like more heroes. Like this is way too early to like focus on anything. You will have enough resets, so just level 1, decide for like heroes and then reset them. It's not that big of a deal. You will get enough crystals early on, and you can just reset it when you have like a legendary. And there we have him. It's the next one. 4 legendaries actually. So again, I don't see really all the blue heroes. So I would just tell you to play Naga again, or you can also play like Real Chicken and Wendigo again, as I said, because of the multi-hits. But you should definitely play later on. You should definitely play like Aqualon, Nerissa, and yeah, like this, you have so many options here actually. You can play like with Joanne. When you want it really easy, you just play like Joanne, Dracula, you level him up as your first hero. Then you have Nerissa and Aqualon and Naga. So this combo is like really easy to play. It will take a long time to play because you don't have that much damage, but this one really survives a lot. And yeah, this would definitely work, this combo. But you can also play like 4 legendaries early on, or your 4 legendaries and then just Joanne or Nerissa, and keep swapping out the legendaries for more epic heroes in the future. So yeah, you have so many options here. You could also play like without Joanne and just go with Dracula, Aqualon, Nerissa, Naga, and as the 5th, I wouldn't really do Undead Dragon then, because you have 3 light heroes then, and Wendigo also you don't have freeze in that case then, so I would play Prellbock as the 5th one. But yeah, many options here, and yeah, up to the next one. So right here we have even more legendaries, 5 legendaries. And again, so many heroes that we don't even see the blue heroes. but you kind of get a feeling of how things go. I mean, you saw early on that I put Ragnar really high in the tier list, and I don't really like advise you here to play him, and that's because really early on he's not that great, and I also wrote that down in the guide. But yeah, later on when you have like third talent or the fourth talent and Pumpkins guys, he's definitely like top tier epic hero. I really love him on my free to play on World 2. But yeah, you can just play either the pumpkin guy or Brelbog or the horseman, or even all three legendaries, and just pick like Joanne and Narissa early on. And then you can swap out like one legendary for like Naga as well. And again, the second legendary you can swap out for, I think you have Aqualon as well. So yeah, this like again has many choices. You can even play like with Frankenstein as a tank, but the problem is with tanks, when you don't have like an OP damage dealer, it kind of sucks. I mean, he is quite nice because he can also stun, like, but yeah, there are so many options here. There's no right or wrong in this one, and it really, yeah, but the first key enemy will be, for example, 72, and for 72, for example, I would just like try to play Aqualon because he can steal the death up buff, and Naga because he can stun and poison. And then for this fight in particular, I wouldn't play Jan because she's light and she just gets one-shotted. You can play Frankenstein for this dungeon, for example, because you can stack up early on 5 stacks and then get preservation, and Chitulu will actually focus him, and yeah, he will not die at all. So this pick is really good. It will also works on 10d2 as well. That's a later dungeon, which is like a key dungeon where you will struggle a lot, and like this combo, this hero is really good on this dungeon. So you might swap him in or out for different like fights. And this one has pumpkin, and like these are not that many heroes, but as the blue hero here, I would play the toilet hero here. I'm not sure what this name is, but yeah, he also has poison. Of course, Naga is a bit better, but you can definitely play him as a blue hero. But again, way too less heroes here. Just play the pumpkin, Ragnar, Cornelius, Monica, and then the toilet guy. Or even just like play one legendary for epics and then wait for a better blue hero. You can do that as well. And yeah, so yeah, that's it. We are back at the start. Those are like the last, like, I don't know, 11, 12, 13, I don't know how many that were. But yeah, just to give you a feeling on how I would choose it. I mean, again, there's no right or wrong, and it really depends. It changes a lot. You have like hard dungeon bosses where you have to swap one hero out or in, and there's also like the level alignment coming. It was a sneak peek today, and this will make things way easier in the future, because you can just like yeah, like artificial, I don't know how the English word for it, but you can like level up a hero just by one click, and you don't actually have to level him up. You just like push his level to like the same level as the heroes you put in earlier at the top, and you get like another hero at the same level. You still have to level him up, but you will have the stats of the higher level heroes. But I will talk about that in the future when the update will come or will be released. And yeah, I see you in the next video, and I hope this one helped you a little bit.